Hey guys, in this video let's explore a bit of Rathalos lore, how it came to be and some interesting traits, so let's begin. Rathalos is the most known monster of the series, basically the mascot of the franchise, with appearances in every game since it came to be, and the original idea behind its design was to represent the classic vision of a werewolf, a flying dragon with fire breath, and some other features like poison. That's the super summarized story behind its design. And what about the game? What's the most interesting thing about Rathalos? It is the male counterpart of Rathians. Rathalos is a bit smaller, and its primary task is going out on hunts, while Rathians stay nearby their nest. Even when Rathalos looks lean, it is quite strong, able to lift heavy monsters like Anjanath, but also we could say that it is not as strong as a Glavenus, because most of the Thorwolves against said monster end up with Rathalos beaten. And talking about hunts, it is perhaps one of the first hard fights a hunter may have in its career, because Rathalos has several ways to defend its territory, using fire breath, its poison talons, and a heavy spiked tail. According to the biology, this club-like tail is used to open monsters or hard carcasses. And while it is a known trait that Rathian tails are quite poisonous, Rathalos is not an exception. The difference is that just the barb at the end is the one containing poison. Or at the very least that was the first idea. Maybe this particular trait was removed to just keep it in Rathians as such. So this tail is pretty much used as a club or a claw. So far Rathalos has several variations. You can call them subspecies or rare species. Perhaps a lazy way to add monsters, but hey, it is a good excuse to have more monsters, almost like the number of lizards that are in the real world. And in Monster Hunter this topic is treated in a particular way, because Black Diablos is considered a subspecies, even when it is a normal state of a normal Diablos. But this gives us the chance to theorize about other species, because theories there are many. We have the classic Rathalos, Azure, Silver, Dreadking, Zenith, Serureusu, Afflicted Ones, which are pretty much normal Rathalos on roids, and Apex Rathalos, all of them with different traits. Perhaps the two variants we may never come to see in a Western release are Zenith and Serureusu. Some of these theories behind its variants are just their age, saying that Azure is an adult and Silver Rathalos the older one, but it is well stated in its description. An Azure called subspecies of Rathalos, more mobile than their standard cousins. They locate prey from the air and quickly swoop in for the kill, as well as the Silver Rathalos, stating that it is a rare species. And one cool thing that it is similar to Pokemon, where you need to breed several Rathalos to get a shiny one, but that is not a subspecies, that is a rare breed. Once again, an iconic case could be like a red Kesu, which is known to be a normal Kesu, which happens to be red. And the most common, or normal Kesu, is just albino, which makes sense knowing that this monster inhabits inside of caves. In this particular case, Azure is a subspecies, not because it is a rare breed, but because it had a different habitat, where it evolved into a different Rathalos. And as main traits, it is far more aggressive, and it has much more stamina to stay in the freaking air all the fucking time.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Dreadking is the Devent version, with high resistance to elemental and status damage, as well as almost immune to flash bombs while in airborne. In this case, Deviants are normal monsters that have survived many fights or harsh circumstances, not to be confused with Apex, which are normal monsters that have survived against Ibushi or Narwa attacks. This is where we could guess that Ibushi and Narwa may affect the monsters in a particular way, because Apex monsters are darker and way fiercer. And once again, not to be confused with Zenith monsters that go through particular changes like Zenith Rathalos, with its main trait that when it is enraged, it shows its shiny orange veins through wings and tail, as well as flaming wings able to create fire tornadoes. And Serureusu is close to Rathalos but is not completely certain. But yeah, it's another Rathalos with light element, able to grow different parts in its body. Silver Rathalos is a rare species, once again, not a rare breed, or an older normal Rathalos, but one that evolved in a different place with fewer numbers. Let's say that the normal Rathalos has a population of 10,000, Azure of 5,000, and Silver perhaps of hundreds. And here we are talking about an extremely dangerous Rathalos, and according to the Hunter's Guide, much more dangerous than an Elder Dragon, able to change into an incandescent mode, where it becomes weaker to attacks. This could be due to the extreme heat accumulated in its body, softening its scales, because also when you break through its heavy armor, the head for example turns into a weaker part, but it is through this mode where Silver Rathalos is able to release all its might. Their habitat is quite wide, because they can be found in forests or volcanoes, pretty much showing that this monster is able to adapt quite well. That is the king of the skies, Rathalos. Thank you for watching.